हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, हम आपके लिए अच्छे से अच्छे वीडियोस ला रहे हैं। अगर आप हेडफोन लगा के हमारे वीडियोस आखिर तक देखते हो और बार बार देखते हो तो आपकी अच्छी लर्निंग होगी और आपके अच्छे स्कोर्स यानी कि मार्क्स आएंगे। आप टॉपर स्टूडेंट बन जाओगे क्योंकि प्रैक्टिस मेक्स मैन परफेक्ट। हम आपके लिए मेहनत से वीडियो बनाते हैं। सिर्फ हमारे लिए एक काम करो, हमारे वीडियोस को लाइक करो, चैनल सब्सक्राइब करो और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात बेल आइकॉन प्रेस करना ना भूलो, ताकि जब भी हम नया वीडियो बनाएंगे या कोई नया अपडेट आपके लिए होगा तो तुरंत आपको मिल जाएगा। हमारे वीडियोस को शेयर करना ना भूलो। आपकी पढ़ाई के लिए हमने एक खास ऐप बनाया है। इसमें आपके लिए होंगे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, क्वेश्चन पेपर्स भी आपको मिलेंगे इसमें। और इसमें सबसे अच्छी बात जो कि एमसीक्यू टाइप्स क्वेश्चंस यानी कि क्विज टाइप क्वेश्चंस होंगे। आप वहाँ पे टेस्ट दे सकते हैं और आपके तुरंत मार्क्स आपको मिलेंगे। आपका परफॉर्मेंस आप खुद चेक कर सकते हैं। ये ऐप आपको गूगल प्ले स्टोर पे मिलेगा। सिर्फ आपको सर्च करना है माई बेस्ट गुरु नाम से। थैंक यू एंड बेस्ट लक फॉर योर स्टडी। Hello friends, now learn question answers of lesson number 4, social and political movements. Question 1. Choose the right option and rewrite the sentence. 1. Dash is the main demand of farmers movement. Options are: right to cultivate on the forest land, to get the right price for agricultural product, protection of consumers, building of dams. To get right price for agriculture products is the main demand of farmers movement. 2. To increase agricultural production and become self-sufficient with regard to food grains, dash was initiated. Options are: water revolution, green revolution, industrial revolution, white revolution. Green revolution. To increase agricultural production and become self-sufficient with regard to food grains, Green Revolution was initiated. Question number 2. Write notes on 1. Tribal movement. Answer: 1. In the pre-independence period, tribal people were deprived of their livelihood on forest resources. 2. There was a tribal uprising in Kollam from Chota Nagpur, Gond from Orissa, Koli, Pilla and Ramoshi from Maharashtra, Santhal and Munda from Bihar. 3. The tribal struggle has continued since those years. Tribals in India face several problems. 4. One major problem is that they are denied right over forests. 5. The main demand of the tribal movement is to accept their right over forests. 6. They should be allowed to collect products of forests and also should have a right to cultivate on forest land. 2. Labor movement. Answer: 1. Labor movement in India emerged in the background of industrialization. 2. Textile industry, railway companies were established in India in the latter half of the 19th century. In 1899, railway workers went on strike for their demands. 3. However, the first organization for resolving the issues of workers was established in 1920. This organization is known as All India Trade Union Congress. 4. In the post-independence period, labor movement started working more effectively. In 1960s and 1970s, labor movement organized several agitations. 5. But from 1980s, labor movement started getting disintegrated. Globalization has affected the labor movement to a great extent. 6. In India, workers are facing different problems: unstable employment conditions, contract labor, financial insecurity, absence of legal protection for workers, unlimited working hours, insecurity at workplace, health hazards are some of the problems. Question number 3. Answer the following questions in brief. 1. Explain the activities, role, functions of environmental movement. Answer. 1. We are aware that environmental degradation is a serious problem at national and international level. 2. At the international level, several movements are working to stop the decline of environment. 3. We see a significant international cooperation in this field. In India, many movements are working on different aspects of environment. 4. The environment movements are taking up issues like protection of biodiversity, protecting different sources of water, protection of forests, green belt, pollution of rivers, use of chemicals and their ill effects, etc. 2. Explain the nature of farmers' movement. Answer. 1. As we all know, farmers are the backbone of our country. It is very important for the government to see that the farmers are happy and satisfied. 2. Farmers' movement in India is an important movement. 3. This movement was started during British period due anti-agricultural policies of the British government, for example movement in Bardoli, Champaranya and movements against revenue collection. 4. The farmers' movements were inspired by the thought of Mahatma Phule, Justice Ranade and Mahatma Gandhi. 5. After the Green Revolution, the farmers' movement became more active and effective. 6. Though Green Revolution did not benefit the poor farmers, the farmers were now divided into rich farmers and poor farmers. Dissatisfaction among the poor farmers led to the beginning of farmers' movement. 8. Appropriate price of agricultural products, agriculture to be treated as an industry, implementation of the recommendations of Swaminathan Commission, debt relief, debt cancellation, national policy for agricultural are some of the demands of the farmers' movement. 9. Shetkari Sangatna, Bharatiya Kisan Union, All India Kisan Sabha are some of the important farmers' organizations in India for the movements. 3. For which reforms were the women's movement in the pre-independence period fighting? Answer. 1. The women's movement aimed at freedom of women. The movement demanded that the women should be treated as human beings. 2. In the pre-independence period, progressive men in India initiated the women's movement. 3. The women's movement aimed at eliminating injustice against women and ending their exploitation, helped them to lead a respectful life and participate actively in social life. 4. Ishwarchandra Vidyasagar, Rajaram Mohan Roy, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule, Maharshi Dando Keshav Karve, Pandita Ramabai Ranade took initiative in ending the practice of sati and child marriages. 5. Reforms such as widow marriage, women education and right to vote to women were possible due to the work of these reformists. Question number 4. Explain the following statements by giving reasons. 1. Movements are important in democracy. Answer. 1. Different social problems come under discussion through these movements. 2. The government then pays attention to such problems. 3. Leaders and activists of the movement provide necessary information about those issues to the government. 4. This information is useful for the government while making policies. 5. Hence, movements are important in a democracy. 2. Movements do not need a strong leadership. Answer. 1. For a movement to be successful, a strong and active leadership is needed. 2. Movements should have a strong leadership in order to be effective. 3. Movements have a leadership. 4. Leadership keeps the movement active. 5. Objectives of the movement, program of action, strategy of agitation are decided by its leaders. 6. A strong leadership makes movement effective. 3. Consumer movement came into existence. Answer 1. Consumer movement came into existence in order to protect the interest of consumer and solve their grievances. 2. Consumer movement emerged in India after Consumer Protection Act came into existence in 1986. 3. The movement believes that each member of the society is a consumer. 4. Due to the changing nature of social and economic system, consumers face different problems. 5. Adulteration, increased cost of items, frauds in weight and measures are some of the problems. 6. The consumer movement works to protect consumers from such type of frauds. 7. The movements increase the participation of public life. 8. The post-1980 movements are called social movements as their nature is different from the earlier movements. 9. These movements are issue-based. It means they try to organize issue-based mass movements.
मित्रांनो, आम्ही आपल्यासाठी चांगले व्हिडिओज बनवत आहोत. जर तुम्ही आमचा चॅनल सबस्क्राईब कराल, आमचे व्हिडिओज इतरांना शेअर कराल, व्हिडिओजवर लाईक व कमेंट कराल, तर आम्ही तुमच्यासाठी जास्तीत जास्त व्हिडिओज घेऊन येऊ. आमचा माय बेस्ट गुरु चॅनल सबस्क्राईब बटनवर क्लिक करून सबस्क्राईब करा.